good. We pick up our countdown to the Illinois primary this morning. It's now 72 days until voters make the call on June 28th, and we're back on the trail this morning of the Democratic primary for Illinois' 17th Congressional District seat. That's the seat being left open by Democrat Sherry Bustos. A highly contested field of 7 Democrats want that nomination. Angie Normoyle, Eric Sorensen, Letisa Wallace, and Marcia Williams, Jonathan Logemann, Jackie McGowan, and Linda McNeely. These are their financial positions as reported on the Federal Election Commission website to start the year. Normoyle with almost $76,000, Sorensen close to $57,000, Wallace with about $39,000, Williams at $7,600 in her campaign account. Logemann has more than $45,000. There are no reports filed with the FEC for McGowan or McNeely. This morning we get to know Jonathan Logemann a little better. He was born in Dubuque, Iowa, raised in Lancaster, Wisconsin. Logemann earned his bachelor's degree in education from the University of Wisconsin. He has a master's degree in public policy from Northwestern University and an MBA from the University of Illinois at Chicago. Now, Jonathan Logemann makes his living as a high school economics and government teacher. He's been doing that for 13 years. He also serves with the Illinois National Guard. Now, Logemann does have some political experience. He's currently in his second term on Rockford City Council. It is really hard to identify a front runner in this field of Democrats, a diverse field in terms of background and the parts of the state where they come from. Rockford Alderman Jonathan Logemann hopes that he's the candidate who's standing tall as his party's nominee after the primary. Joining us for a conversation this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, Jim.
How difficult is it to reach voters right now? Do you think they're paying much attention to this race yet?
Yeah, I think so. You know, reaching out to a lot of different voters. You know, here in the Quad Cities, this is the 4th time over the last 7 days that I've been here. So, you know, it's a very big district, a very diverse district, and that's every day you reach out to a new person, and that's this whole campaign is just day by day and brick by brick. Building up the campaign. So, having a lot of fun doing it, and have had reached out to so many different people. Have had so many different new experiences. So, it's been a lot of fun, and I look forward to continue doing it.
This new version of the 17th Congressional District you mentioned draws a very big part of its voting base from 3 larger population centers, Rockford, Peoria, the Quad Cities. Your roots certainly in the Rockford area right now, known there as an alderman. What do you see as the big challenges, though, to reach this district geographically?
Yeah, I think, like I was saying earlier, this is the 4th time I've been here, and, we're going down to Bloomington next week, and just in Peoria, and of course Rockford a lot, and then all the areas in between. So, I think your commitment level to the district and reaching every single voter, that really helps out. And I'll tell you, in my first campaign as alderman, I knocked on literally every single door in the entire ward, whether they voted or not, to reach out to them, to let them know the services that, a city alderman can provide. And so that's, the commitment level that I bring is that, that deep outreach. You talk to anybody in Rockford too, that if you give Jonathan Logemann a call, he's going to call you back.
And you're one of 3 candidates in this race with experience in education specifically, and all 3 of you have held or do hold elected office. The other 2 are in higher education. You're a high school teacher. How do you make the case that that's the right experience to be your party's nominee and serve in Congress?
Yeah, well, I'm the only candidate in primary or secondary education, so I've been a teacher for the last 12 years, and I really think that that's important because, I'm in the trenches of our community every day. So if something happens in the neighborhood, I feel that the next day at school. If someone's going through something tough at home, I feel that. I see that the next day at school. So that, that deep connection, because, in public school education, we serve everybody. I educate everybody. And so, knowing, the different neighborhoods of our communities, I think that's a real, true asset, as I am so heavily involved in my own community.
Let's talk money from just a campaign standpoint. No Democrat in this race is really running away with it based on the year-end numbers. First quarter numbers now due. All of you trail by a wide margin to the Republican primary favorite, Esther Joy King, with more than $1 million in her coffers, and an account that's likely to grow after the primary. How do you compete, you specifically, or any Democrats, whoever wins the party's nomination?
Yeah, well, I think it's a real long way from now until November, but that's a thing that I'm not concerned about that, Jim, right now at all. I'm focused on, like we were just talking about, reaching out to voters in the Illinois 17th. And one question I don't ever get is like, hey Logemann, how's your fundraising, or how's your poll numbers right now? So, focused for me at this point is on the issues that matter to everyday Illinoisans, and focusing on how we can improve life and our economy, in the communities that we hold dear here.
We put our conversation on pause for a moment. Coming up, addressing inflation. What ideas this candidate for Congress has if he gets a job on Capitol Hill. For the record.